I have certain things. Because I have things because I think the record. Because I have, because I think the record, particularly some of Mr. Harris's comments, particularly some of Mr. Harris's comments to this with court, reference to acting, this court potentially what acting, at least as I'm to understand is on what at least as I'm to understand what some may be, what some may be, or is it? Let's put it this way, or is people it? Let's put it this saying. Way. And quite frankly, your client are saying that, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion, as well as this court was acting on some, as well as this court was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which caused the court, given what the court caused the court, given to investigate what the court did, what my ruling to investigate. What my and I will tell you that that assertion, and I will tell you that is that absolutely correct. Is absolutely with reference to any faulty information that either with reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield or to this court ultimately at the May 15th or to this court ultimately at the May 15th. And I think it needs to be stated. I've been asked for comment. And I think it needs to be stated from comment. I've been asked for comment. I have refrained from comment as the pending case will speak on the record. This court, so I am going to make sure that the record is very, I am going to make sure that as to what this court knows. As to what this court acted on May 15th, and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it, we can start with this. Because my basis for doing it is because of what was said. This whole process was. And that whole process an indication counsel, and that an indication counsel. You've been before me before. And no, it is not coming from you. You've been before me before. No, it is you also know how I am. I do. But you also know how I am. I do. And if for whatever reason, the thing is that the one time in my life I was wrong, whatever reason, I will say it. The one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it. But when I'm not wrong, and did. And when people are not to blame, but when I'm not wrong, then it also people are not to blame. Then it also so I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you first of all, to your with client any reference having had a license to your client on that day having had a license and some indication or misunderstanding and some indication or misunderstanding. Let me make it very clear based on what the court looked at. Let me make it very clear based on what the court looked at. Ever. He has never had a Michigan and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths. And has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths. He has never had a license. That form up this great union. In point of fact, he has never had a license. When, in point of fact, they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, suspended his when license, they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege. They don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege. For example, if he had had a Kentucky license, hence, for example, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges. I know you know that. But I know you know that wasn't at all said. But that doesn't matter because he didn't have it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license. There is also then and ever. There is also then I will when it is necessary come to the defense of my sister court, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. But I will tell you, judge answered the question, and but I will tell you that did nothing and its friend of the court did nothing. His license was his driving. His license was his driving were unsuspended in 2022. Were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. That required Mr. Harris to do something. Therefore, the defendant court was under no obligation to send anything. Therefore, the defendant court was under no obligation to send anything. Now, I hated that I had to look at all of this, but when there's a question, I hated that I had to look at all of this. But when there's a question as to what I did was, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that there's then an indication from that. There's then an indication from that. Because that wasn't sent. There was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's Michigan's Department of saying that the Secretary of State's at fault. Saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault. Secretary of State did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, did what they were supposed to do. Because they hadn't gotten anything from the court. Because Mr. Harris had not because they hadn't gotten anything from the court. Because Mr. Harris had not paid this week or latter part of last week, once he this week that, or latter part of last week, second off friend of the court did what they should do, and second off friend of the court did what they should do immediately based upon the information that I have. The Secretary of State based upon the information that I have. The Secretary of State did what they do. They took that suspension off of his driving record. They took that suspension, and he was then unsuspended. And he was then unsuspended. Your client and then did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State. Did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a read. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
thank you.
I am not done.
A lot of the points for me. Thank you.
All right, and
so a lot of the points for me.
That came down to that, and so the information that came down to that. So the information at the time I had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had. At the time was all correct. Both Pittsfield at the time of both as Pittsfield well as the May 15th day. As well as the May 15th day. There was no error. It was all correct. By anybody. There was no error. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris. I grant you certain that sometimes that can be a complicated process. But it was certainly not any complicated process. But it was certainly not anybody's fault. Other than that didn't happen. Now, other than that, here's the other thing, here's the other thing. Like maybe in church where I say I'm about finished now. Like maybe in church where I say the other part of this is. But the other part of this is this stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon. Part of my Wednesday after suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday. We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back. Which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, and because I don't live under a rock, very nice. I actually watch things.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You look very nice on TV.
Thank you.
There was something that was sad. That was very disturbing. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with it. The question was asked along the lines. Between October of 2023 and the point in time of the May 15th hearing. Was there an attempt by Mr. Harris? To correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me. So that you know. Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. At some point he had been involved into the accident that he was basically housebound, that he was basically housebound. He could not get to the Secretary of State. That was set up there, and I think I'm going to presume my knowledge of counsel is I know you don't misrepresent
Right.
I know you don't misrepresent anything.
Right.
You never do.
Right.
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. He purposely stated that he could not get to the Which for the way we handle things in this court would have placed him in a whole different category. Would have tried to find a way. And the reason I know that, and the reason because Mr. Harris on December 28th, 2023, on December 28th, 2023, do you know where you were?
December 23rd.
2023.
I know I was laid up from my accident.
You were at the Secretary of State's office because you got your new Michigan ID. I have the date. That's the date. December 28th, 2023. December 28th, 2023. You did. In all fairness to counsel, because I don't know, counsel knows this. In all fairness to the way I know that he's never had a license. The way I know that he's never had a license. He's never. It's because May 3rd, 19 at the time. He's never. May 3rd, 19 at the time. He applied May 3rd, first Michigan. He applied first Michigan. Counsel knows. So I do. Counsel knows. You cannot have both. So I do. You have an ID or you have a license. You have an ID or you have a license. He has religiously every year. Gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all And all of this hoopla could have been just put. And we all go through the process as we do with all of the people. Of the people coming here. But his falsehoods, license back. But his falsehoods are not going to fare him well in this court. I'm done. For now. I'm done. I'm sure I will have something else to say. Speak first. Whichever one of you
I'll
would
wait
like
to
to
go
speak
last.
first, you may.
I'll wait to go
Yes,
last.
I spent yesterday at the Pittsfield Township Police Department
with
I spent
Officer
yesterday at
Monastery.
the Pittsfield Township Police
Former
Department with
traffic
Officer
stop
Monastery. I also noticed, and I noticed the significance of that, and the court just went through that. I noticed the significance of that, and the court just went through that. In addition,
for that.
at the traffic stop,
In addition, when I was at the police
traffic
department
stop,
yesterday,
I watched the body cam.
when I was at the police
At
department
least
yesterday,
twice
we watched the
during
body
this
cam
traffic
stop.
stop.
At
He
least
acknowledged
twice
to the
during
officer
the traffic
that
stop.
he did not have a
He
valid
acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid
quote
license.
unquote, actually, I don't have a
Quote
valid
unquote,
actually, I don't have a
The question was, are you a valid driver? The question was, are you
I
a
am
valid
not.
driver?
quote, I am not. So you know what, this is all this hoopla. So you know what, this circus atmosphere is hoopla. In my opinion,
Circus atmosphere is just,
In my opinion, I've been prosecutor for more than 30 years. And I've been prosecutor for more than 30 years,
driving while
and to
licensed
see
in many
this kind of
cases
hoopla
is
around
ridiculous.
driving while licensed in many cases
And
is.
it wasn't caused by
this court. It wasn't caused by.
And it wasn't caused by this court. It was caused by
the extra judicial statements.
It was caused
Made
by
outside the extra judicial statements made outside this courtroom.
Okay, so
Go ahead, Counsel.
thank you. You're
Okay.
Thank you very
So-
much.
Go ahead.
Well, first thing I'd
Thank
like to
you.
say is, thank you very much. Well, first thing I'd like to say is, very first thing is we're here, and that we
We all
first
saw this
thing is
video.
we're here.
We didn't-
and
I
that-
wasn't in court.
We
I
all
wasn't even
saw
on
this
YouTube
video.
watching.
We
the
didn't.
court
I wasn't
right?
in court. I
saw
wasn't
it
even on
because someone
YouTube
saw
watching the court.
it and decided to
I saw
make
it because
a-
someone decided to post it.
and
I can
decided to
assure
make
you
a-
decided to
that
post
that was
it.
not
I can
Mr.
assure you.
I don't think he has the capacity
that
to be
that
able
was
to
not
post it
Mr.
like that on
I don't think he has the
YouTube
capacity to be able
or
to post
Instagram.
it
So that
like
was
that
not
on
him.
YouTube
And it
or-
happened to
or
take
Instagram.
off
So
and
that
go
was not
viral.
him.
So he
And it
had
happened
no-
to take off
what
and go
we
viral.
saw
So
was
he
him
had
saying
no.
what
He was
we
driving,
saw
which he should
was him
not have
saying
been
what?
driving. He was
Right?
driving, which
Did
he
we
should not have
we're
been
told not to
driving.
drive on Zoom,
Right?
While
Did
doing
we
that.
not-
So
we're
that's
told
how
not
this
to drive
came
on
to
Zoom
came,
while doing
came to
that.
the attention
So
because
that's
the
how
court.
this
I
came
saw
to
you.
came. I can't believe
Came to the
this.
attention because the court.
Driving?
I saw you.
And we
I
all
can't
said that.
believe
Everyone
this.
who saw that
Driving?
video asked the
And we
same
all said
question.
that. Everyone who saw
And
that
just-
video
it became
asked the same
the-
question.
It became a
And that just-
joke. It became a complete
the-
joke. Now,
It
with
became a joke.
respect to-
Became a complete joke. Now,
Why-
with
what
respect
we
to
wanna do-
and I cannot say
Why-
anything
what
with
we
respect
wanna
to what
do-
my client
and I
has
cannot
said.
say
But when we
anything
talk about
with
the
respect to what
hoopla,
my client has
didn't
said,
start the hoopla.
but when we talk about the
perhaps he's
hoopla,
made some comments,
client
but he
didn't
didn't start the
hoopla
hoopla whatsoever.
Perhaps he's made
that was
some
someone
comments,
that
but
was
he didn't
outside
start the
that was
hoopla
outside of his
whatsoever.
control.
That was someone that was outside.
That was
He had no
outside of his
control
control
over it.
as
And
to
that
how
I'm
it
gonna
went
stand on
viral.
that.
He
He
did
had
not.
no control
He did
over
not
it. And
send
that
it out
I'm
to
gonna stand
Instagram.
on
He
that.
didn't send it out
He
to.
did not.
He
Wherever,
did not
he
send
didn't
it
do
out
that
to her.
Instagram. He
So,
didn't send it out to.
with
wherever.
respect to,
He didn't do that part.
So, with
Did he
respect
have
to,
I don't want to try this case today.
did he have a
at all?
I don't
But
want
what
to
I
try
wanna
this
do is
case
focus on
today
what's good.
at
Now,
all.
what's
But
good?
what I want to do is
That
focus
day
on
in
what's
October,
good.
This
Now, what was
officer
good?
here,
That
could
day
have
in
gone a
October,
whole other direction.
this
And I'm so
officer
happy
here,
that
that
you
could have
were
gone
so
a whole
kind
other
and
direction. And I'm
courteous
so
to my
happy
client.
that you were
Thank
so
you,
kind
officer.
and
Thank you
courteous
so much.
to my client.
Because it could have
Thank
gone
you,
another
officer.
direction.
Thank you so
We
much.
are here right
Because
now.
it could have
My
gone another
client
direction.
has
We
a-
are here right now. My client has
an appointment
to go to the Secretary of State for his permit to go to the Secretary of State for his permit. How do we correct this and cure this? How do we correct this and cure this? How do we whatever he was not under oath under any of the things that he said? Whatever he was not under oath about any of the things that he said going on. So we're not talking about any type of perjury going on. So with that being the case, very true. Let's move forward. So with that being the case, he is here. What I'd like, this is what I'd like. He is here. What I'd like, this is what I'd like.
I would like to move forward.
Yes.
On this case. I would like to handle these cases
on
this case. The time. Handle these cases. But I will tell you, as you know, one thing I don't like is when people don't. The one thing I don't like is when people don't take responsibility. When they take responsibility for it, we will use.
This is the judge laying down the foundation. No clerical error, no system glitch. This comes down to personal responsibility. In license cases, that distinction matters a lot. So here's the question. If the process is complicated, does that excuse ignoring it completely?
About blaming people for this, blaming people for, and he shouldn't have done it. Because when you look at the whole thing, because when you look at the whole thing, the person that needed to be blamed. A lot of other points, but I'm not here to embarrass. A person that needed to be blamed. I'm not here to embarrass. The person that he was staring at in the mirror is the person that he was staring at in the mirror, and that's okay. He didn't do the majority of people that come here, and that's okay. The majority of people that come here on a licensing, that's like a gift. What they were supposed to do. They don't go about blaming anybody. They just say, Your Honor, I didn't. They don't go about blaming anybody. Your Honor, I just didn't do it. I didn't have the time to do it. I just didn't. Whatever. I didn't have the time to do it. I just didn't take whatever. Just own it. Once you own it, then it becomes a whole lot easier just to move forward. Then it becomes a whole lot easier just to move forward. Okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted you and I said I wouldn't. Okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted you and I said I wouldn't.
I know who you are. And I respect that. No, I know who you are, and I respect that. Where I am is where I've always been. Because I can assure you that when he did speak, because I can assure you that when he did speak, that day I wasn't representing him. I was representing him yesterday, right? I wasn't representing him. I was representing him yesterday, right? And what steps are my?
And this is the turning point. The court just caught a contradiction on the record, claiming you couldn't go to the Secretary of State while proof shows you did. Once credibility cracks in court, everything else starts to fall apart. Be honest, was there any way this was going to end differently after that?
To sort of minimize, he did get into an accident. He did get into an accident. Please, Your Honor. Right behind. Oh, well, hold on. Okay. Right behind. Oh, well, hold on. Okay. And now that's real. That's a real injury. And now that's real. That's a real injury. Okay. So no comment. What we're looking for, because there are some options here. What my client has indicated to me would like me to indicate to the court. My client has indicated to me would like me to indicate to the court that he is in the process of hopefully that privilege will be available to him. But he does have hopefully that privilege stated earlier to him, and I have does have he did pay the restated earlier, and I have the fees that he did pay the reinstatement. Anything that was out in the previous those fees have been paid. Anything that was out in the previous court, those fees have been paid, and I've been presented with those receipts. In addition, after that. Tomorrow he's got his permit test coming up, and then he's working on it so that he can.
And this is the turning point. The court just caught a contradiction on the record, claiming you couldn't go to the Secretary of State, while proof shows you did. Once credibility cracks in court, everything else starts to fall apart. Be honest, was there any way this was going to end differently after that?
I know I'm saying from this day I'm just saying that I don't want, I'm saying from this day forward to take the steps necessary to take the steps necessary to take advantage of the generous driver's license, so he can take advantage of the generous offer. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
I
Mr.
hate to say it, John. One additional thing.
Yes, Mr.
I hate to say it, John. One question Cox and I need to approach the bench. It may involve Mr. to approach the bench.
I know,
may involve
because
Mr.
I know what it is.
Who's Mr.
I
Allen?
know,
Thank you.
because I know what it is.
Well, who's Mr. Allen?
Thank you.
That's my bailiff.
Well, who's Mr. Allen?
Oh,
That's my bailiff.
Oh,
I will give out whatever date I can. I will give out whatever date
Counsel, you probably
can.
didn't know this,
Okay.
and I wasn't sure whether. Counsel, you probably didn't know this, and I
He's got
wasn't
a
sure
warrant.
whether prosecutor was
no,
going
I
to.
did
He's
not.
got a
know.
warrant. Yes, he has a warrant
No,
for his arrest.
I did not know.
Yes, he has a warrant for his
A
arrest.
bench warrant out of. A bench warrant out of.
Ellen Park.
Ellen Park.
Ellen
Mr.
Park.
Ellen Park.
24th District Court.
Mr. Allen.
24th District Court.
Okay,
The shocking thing about it.
okay.
The shocking thing about it. For a driving while license suspended. That he didn't. For a driving while license suspended.
Okay.
That he didn't take care of.
Well, like I said, he wants to
Okay.
handle.
So
Well, like I
what it
said,
is-
he wants to
that-
handle.
And it's a valid
So what
warrant.
it is
I happen to be
that-
within their radius. And it's a
pickup.
valid warrant. I happen to be
Now, having
within
said
their
that,
radius.
I
I
don't
don't know
know
if they will pick him up. Now, having said that, I don't know
I will
if they
say
will
that
pick
when
him up.
he,
Okay.
what
I
should
will say
have
that when
happened,
he,
I'm not
what
going to go
should
through and try
have
to
happened.
figure out whether it did happen. I'm not going to go through and try to
but
figure
when
out whether
he
it did happen.
was arrested,
But when
he turned himself
was
in
arrested,
on my revocation of
when he
bond, turned himself in
upon
on my
being
revocation
released,
of bond, he should have been
upon being
apprised,
released,
warned and released.
he
should have been apprised,
to go take
warned
care
and
of it.
released. I don't know whether he
To
was.
go take
I
care of
really
it.
don't care whether
I don't know
he
whether he
was or
was.
not. I really
All
don't
I know
care
is
whether
that
he
was
or
back
not.
at
All I know
mid-May,
is that was
and it hasn't
back
been taken
at
care of.
mid-May, and it hasn't been taken
And it's
care
still
of.
valid.
I was hoping,
And it's still valid.
I was hoping
that somebody was going to try and take care of it.
that somebody was going to
I'm
try
sure
and
if you
take
had
care of
known,
it because
they would have
I'm
been
sure
done.
if you had known, so much
They
so
would have been done.
that part of
So
my
much
delay
so
in getting out of here
That was
part
to
of my
make
delay
sure
in
that
getting
it
out
was
of
valid.
here, I had my
Was
staff
to make
running
sure that it was valid.
right before
I had my
came
staff
out.
run him
so
right
that
before
if
I
it
came
hadn't
out.
gotten taken care of and in,
So that
then
if it hadn't
fine,
got
we
taken
were
care
okay
of
and
and
I didn't
in,
need to deal with it. Then
Right.
fine, we were okay and I didn't need to deal
but
with
it's still there.
Right. Okay.
But it's
So-
still there.
Okay.
So, will July 17th work as a new date for you? Will July 17th work as a new date for you to come back? Because as I understand it, he
Come
is
back.
right now
Because
not licensed. As I understand
So
it,
if he
goes
is
in
right
on
now not
Thursday,
licensed.
gets his permit, he's got
So
to
if
drive.
he goes
for at
in on
least 30
Thursday,
days, gets his permit, he's got to
Apparently
drive
he
for
knows
at
how to
least
do
30
that
days.
part. Sorry.
Apparently he knows how to do that.
I'm sorry, I didn't need to say that, but
He knows how to do that.
I'm sorry, I didn't need to say
Then
that.
he's got to go back, take
He knows
the
how to do
test,
that part,
Right.
but
and then he's got to go back, take the test,
maybe of accomplish
and
it in
then
that time.
he can do that.
That
maybe of
45-day period.
If not,
That 45-day period.
If not, I just want him to have a license.
We all want the same thing.
I just want him to have a license.
One moment. We
So,
all want the same
the
thing.
17th, it may not be me.
One
It
moment.
would be another
So,
attorney from my
the
office.
17th,
Well, I
it
don't
may
want
not
that.
be me. It would be
I don't want
another
that.
attorney from my
You
office.
want me?
Well, I don't
That's
want that.
fine.
Okay.
I don't want. I know you'll never hear
You
me
want
say
me?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
I know you'll never hear me say that. But I don't want to go through this whole. But I don't want to go through this.
Right,
whole,
no, I get it. So I
You-
started
you
trial on the
understand
15th. Right, no, I
What's
get
my
it.
date
So I
after
started
17th?
trial on the 15th and
What's my date after?
What about August 2nd? We can just put it out and then
What
he
about
can
August 2nd?
do what he's
We can
going to
just
do
put
or
it
not
out,
do what he's
and
going to
then
do,
he
but
can-
he
he
should
should
what
be
he's going to
able
do
to-
or not do what he's going to do, but
August
he
7th
should
at
be
1
able
o'clock,
to.
or would it be a 9 a.m.? August
It will.
7th at
I
1
will
o'clock,
set it
or
at
would it be a
9.
9
We will
a.m.?
set it at.
It will.
I will set it at 9. We will set it at right now that we have your appearance, so you'll get it
Okay,
corrected.
and then I
Right,
just
from us as
need
to
one
what
moment
time
to
clock
talk
he's-
to my client.
Okay,
And
and
then I
then
just need one moment to talk
Okay.
to my client.
August
Tell me
7th at
something.
9 a.m. Okay.
9 a.m.
August 7th at
We're
9
gonna take him
a.m.
into custody. 9 a.m. The only question that I have.
take him into
and the
custody
way I
on
look
the
at the warrant. The only question
the
that I have
bond
is, and the way I look at the
looks
warrant,
like
$500.
bond
is.
Okay.
Looks like $500.
I don't know
Okay.
whether or not
Two
they'll
things.
come get
First,
him.
Right.
If they don't come
I don't
and get
know
him,
whether or
we'll-
not they'll
that
come
we'll
get him.
release him.
Right.
We're
They
not
don't
gonna
come and
hold
get
him.
him.
We'll release him. We're not going to
if
hold him.
They
Are coming to get him and he's going to be
if
held. The only
they
question I would
are
have for you,
coming to
counsel,
get him
is
and
do
he's
you
gonna
want
be
me to
held.
set a
The only question I
nominal
would have for
amount
you,
on this
counsel,
so that
do
he
you
gets
want me
credit
to
set a nominal
or do
amount on
nothing
this
and
so
not
that
worry
he gets
about it?
credit
I'll
or do
leave that up
nothing
to
and
you.
not worry about it?
Okay. That will
I'll
be,
leave
but
that up to
absolutely, I
you.
want him to be able to get
Okay.
full credit
That
for
will be,
anything
but
that is
absolutely, I want him to
necessary.
be able to get
So
full
let's do it
credit
this
for
way.
anything that is necessary.
If he's not,
let's do it this way.
So I'm going to take him in. If
he's
for whatever
not-
reason, so
he's
I'm going to
not
take him in.
released
If for whatever
tomorrow.
reason, call
He's
my
not
office and with
released
the agreement,
tomorrow.
I will set
Call
a
my
nominal
office
amount.
and with
the
Okay.
agreement,
on
I
it
will
rather
set
than
a
do it
nominal
right now.
amount.
So he
Okay.
has to
on
do
it
it
rather than do
so
it
that
right
you're also
now.
clear.
So he has to
Part of
deal
the
with
reason
two
I'm also
things.
doing this so that you're also clear. Part of the reason I'm also doing this is didn't take care of it. And secondly, this has been out there for 9 years. And secondly, this has been out there for 9 years.
Well, I did not know about it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Counsel,
Well, I did not know about it.
there is
Your
not a
Honor.
doubt in my mind that that's true. There is not a doubt in my mind that that's true.
I go to the bank on that one.
Because I know you
go
would
to the
take
bank
care
on
of it.
that one.
Because I
It's
know
going to
you
be
would
taken
take
care
care
of today. His wife is
All right.
here. It's going to be, and
Okay.
it will be taken care of. So I will absolutely call your office tomorrow to see what is, call the court to see the status.